If traditional German courses haven't worked for you, it's not your fault. You need much more practice, you need less theory, and let me show you where you can get it. All right, so it's time. There isn't a hell of a lot of people here, but I'm gonna start anyway. I just need to get something for you so I can show you. So welcome. We're going to do a walkthrough through the Better German community today. So let's actually start right here with the logging in process, because that's actually something which is worth showing. Okay, good. So the first thing how you can always go there is by going to community.besser-lernen.at. Okay, I realize now that this could be confusing for English-speaking people. Lernen means better learning. In case you ever get lost and want to know how to go there, my homepage is bettergerman.info, and you can just go here and log in. Either you can go there by going to community.bettergerman.at, or the other way I showed to you, you enter here the email address that you have used for signing up. If you haven't signed up, I'm going to show you at the very end how you can do that. You enter your email address, and this is a part that is, I don't know if every one of you has seen. You don't log on to Better German by entering an email address and a password. For increased security, this is a way of doing it. So an email gets sent to you. Sometimes there is a slight, like it could take a minute or something. Here we go. So you get an email that looks like this: log in to Besser Lernen Better German. You go on login, and ta-da, that's where you are. So this is the first thing you will see if you are in the browser version. I'm using a Chrome browser. It looks pretty much the same in the Safari browser. You can use the Better German community on a browser. You can also download an app, which is actually what I usually suggest to you because it reduces the number of times that you have to log in. There is a mobile app that you can use that works both for a phone, but also for an iPad. It's both available for iOS and for Android. However, I do suggest to you that you do not just only use it on the phone. I mean, using it on the phone is very good if you want to stay in touch while you're on the road. I think some of the things work better on computer. So this is the overview. So here you have so-called channels. If you're in the Better German community, these are all the channels. You will also see there could be new ones coming up. So we have something very general here. And that's the idea, the whole community thing. You can ask questions here. So that's a very general channel. That's where I put announcements. That's where everybody introduces themselves. This is German beginner questions. If you have real particular beginner questions, for example, this is something about Vienna. This is questions about live classes. This is questions about grammar. There aren't any there yet, obviously. So I invite you to interact. This is a very new community. So therefore, if you're coming here now, you will help form the community and hopefully get a lot of interactions going. One feature that is really, really cool here, you can create a voice room and just call it "Want to Practice Now," and then it's open. And I can't actually do another call now because I'm already using my camera here, but then you just have to give it permission to use a call. You can do it just with microphone or with camera and microphone. And then what that does, it opens a channel, and other people that are online can also join, and you can talk to each other and practice German. The next thing here is courses. And actually, this is my favorite part, and I think it's the heart. And you see at this point, there is one course here. It's called Start Here. It just says one lesson because this is what I'm working on. It's basically a mini course that you should do right when you started, and that's going to introduce you to everything, and it's going to give you like even placement, and you will know where to go and where to start and what to do. And then you have here the German Beginner Level 1 course. That is really, really cool. I'm very proud of it and all of my courses. But this is the one which is furthest uploaded here. And this is really a course which will take you from nowhere to somewhere. So it's the first point to learn German. It's probably also the first point for you to learn if you haven't learned German with me before. Because I'm teaching German very much different from a traditional German course or from what you are used to language classes at school. It's very different. We work a lot with practice, a lot with repetition, and you will start speaking and saying things right from the first lesson. Honestly, I've taught people with the same system for many years, the same system, the same words, the same lists, and so on. And whenever I have a new student starting that learns with me, I give them a placement test. And no matter where they were, I've had students that came to me and they've learned German for some time, sometimes for years, and they've passed German exams. And they came to me because they said, well, I've passed this German exam, but I can't speak German, either because I don't understand it or I don't dare or it just doesn't come to me for different reasons. But anyway, the common denominator was I can understand somewhat, I can read, but I cannot speak. And most of them also had troubles writing. So, and I did placement exams with every one of them, and except for one student who had really learned German intensively for some time and lived in Austria, who started on level 2, which would be level 3 in this system. So that's where I placed her, and that's where she started. Every one of them started right at the beginning. Not based on me being mean, but really based on looking at where are the first holes in what they need to know. Where are the first things they didn't really get? So actually, when you go back, when you do what I showed you before, the onboarding mini course, as soon as it's fully done, if you want to do it earlier and it's not done yet because you're actually starting tomorrow maybe and you want to get it done right now, you may have to write to me. So that's another thing. Whenever there is something wrong, just write to me. Find this picture, Susi Schilk-Brümmer. You can always message me. Starting a call could be more challenging. I'm not here all the time, like on the thing, but message me and I will get back to you usually the same day or even earlier. When you go through here, you will actually get a placement test, and then I will tell you exactly where to start. But even if you haven't, you can't really go wrong with doing that, and it will be probably fun for you in any case, even if your German is already better than that. And the way the course is done is relatively self-explanatory. More you will see in the onboarding course. What you have most of the time is you have a video and then you have exercises. Very often, first oral or verbal exercises and then written exercises. But it will be explained to you whenever you are there. You see, for example, these are written exercises. Written exercises are not corrected. So I'm not able to look at every single written exercise, but I check that they're done. And if I see that there is something completely out, then I will let you know. Also, you will find actually at the end of every unit, there it says course office hours. And what this means, it's a live lesson that is happening like once at least every 2 weeks, and you check when it is. And this is where you can ask me if there is any questions, and we will also practice. And if there's any questions about the correctness of something or anything you didn't understand in the videos, then you can ask there. This is a complete course, and whatever you think your problem is with German, it will probably be handled if you just do a course, just starting at the beginning and just going on through. The courses at this point, you just see here German beginner level 1, German 2, and German pronunciation. I'm adding about 1 unit a week. So if you go in here and you see, so these are units, and every unit you typically have between, 10 to 20 lessons. The length of the lessons varies a little bit, but I would say they're between 10 minutes and half an hour. The written exercises could take you maybe a little longer, but you don't have to do them all at the same time. So yes, and I'm adding like about 1 of the units every week. And there will be many more courses coming. So the whole program will be German beginner level 1 through German beginner level 12. Good thing is, as I said, we're at the beginning. So if you join now and you join while the price is locked in as what it is, and you stay there, you will enjoy a much lower price than it will later have. Because at a later time, having all the courses included will be 50 euros a month, while this is now 20 or actually 19.90 a month. So that's a very big advantage of starting now, because this price is going to be locked in. And it's definitely worth the price, because you can already do the courses, but there's all the other opportunities you have in here as well. So next point is resources. There is a lot of resources here. First of all, there is a German podcast. Maybe you know it. A lot of people that are interested in me actually get to know me through the podcast. So there is a Better German podcast here. There will be new episodes out very soon, by the way. And now I'm going to go back. Here we go. So the first thing here is the podcast resources. By the way, this is where you go to the podcast directly. You can find the Better German podcast everywhere where you can find podcasts, I think. I mean, it should be there. It's definitely on Spotify. It's definitely on Deezer, on Apple, on Amazon Podcasts. If you can't find the podcast somewhere where you're listening to it, then let me know. Then I'll make sure that it's there. But you see here, like when you go to the podcast page, which is podcast.bettergerman.info, or if you go to the Better German homepage again, you can go on podcast. So I think it's possible to find it. Here you can go to all the different places where you can listen to it. You can also actually watch the podcast episodes on YouTube. So they're either videos with me talking, or some of them are just the podcast, but you can basically read along. I haven't uploaded at the point of the recording of this or of the lesson, I haven't uploaded all of the podcast episodes. This is being done right now by my team. So hopefully by the time you watch this, it's all done. The podcast itself is free. It's out there. And you can also get the freebies from the podcast. They're linked there. But here you find all of the freebies, the worksheets in the same place. So you don't have to like go to the podcast homepage and then to the correct page and then go here and then sign up. But if you are part of the Better German community, you can find everything here. If there's anything missing, let me know, but it shouldn't be. If there are any questions you have, you can ask them right there. That's true for actually, that's also true for every course episode. You can also ask questions right in every episode, in every lesson. But it's also true for every resource. You can ask a question right there, and I encourage you to do it. However, if there is a resource that you're missing, like, can you explain to me blah, 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 or it would be great to have an overview of this and that, then just go to German General or German Beginner or Intermediate or Grammar or whatever is you think is most appropriate, and just ask me for it, and we'll see that we can provide it to you. Also, resources we're uploading regularly. So this is an ever-growing thing of resources, and everything you find here, you will see is understandable. That's a very good thing. That's basically what we're based on. You cannot learn German if you don't understand the explanations of grammar or whatever you get it. So we make sure that everything is understandable. Good. So these are the code of conduct, and there are different other, a lot of resources. These are beginner and advanced beginner resources. These are like dozens and dozens of resources. For example, this is like a summary. If you're a beginner and you didn't have time yet to go through the placements and you don't know, then you can just look here and just do all of these things to improve your German. Good. So these are resources. There are many, many more. I don't want to go through all of them right now, but here they are. So next point is live classes. There is usually a weekly live class that's on Wednesday evening my time. So I'm located in Europe, in Vienna, in Austria. It's the same time zone as Germany or Amsterdam or Paris, Middle Europe time zone. And every Wednesday evening, we have a class that is for members. Most of them are for members only. And I encourage you to join as many of them as possible, because this is where the fun is. You get a live class by me, but it's not a lecture. This one's like a little bit a lecture. But the usual classes are like, for example, conversation practice. You will be practicing conversation with other students. And don't worry, we can do that on Zoom. It works perfectly. Sometimes I'll put students in different breakout rooms, they're called, or extra rooms, and you can practice with each other. And I will actually go around. It's just like in a regular class when you have people working together and the teacher going around. This is a lot of happening in our classes. So, for example, next week we have conversation practice. And yeah, we will practice conversation. Then there is the week after, there's something called the Fluency Boost. This is, by the way, conversation. If you have never had one day of practicing of German class, you will have a hard time. Probably also on fluency. But so you should have learned a little bit. Otherwise, it's probably not something you will get most out of. The fluency boost, these are very, very cool exercises that will help you to, first of all, understand this. We're going through this particular kind of sentence that we're learning, and then we're going to practice it in a way with a lot of different examples that will help you to never have to think about it. So that will make the difference between going like, okay, ich sehen Tisch. I'm trying to see. I see the table in German. I'm pretending to try to say it. Oh no. Ich sehe Tisch. No. Ich sehe den Tisch. And this will take you from going from this to just saying ich sehe den Tisch. Okay? So these are Fluency Boost classes. They're very fun, and all my students enjoy these actually, and they're very easy. But don't underestimate easy, because what we're training on is like every single step is easy. If it's not easy, then we're doing something wrong. However, you have to practice and practice and practice it. And then you put a lot of easy steps together, and then you have something more complicated. That's how we learn. Not by overwhelming you, by throwing, first of all, a whole lot of words that you don't understand, and then too many new things too fast, and then you don't know where you are. Good. And I think, you're either a complete newbie and then you will enjoy learning German with me, or maybe you have tried to learn German already and have had failures. So good news is it's not you. So if you're really new, welcome. You're at the right place. My mission is to help people learn German without complexities. It is a language that can be learned. It's not impossible. People sometimes think it is, but it's not. And if you have already tried learning German and you've failed, or you haven't achieved what you wanted, or it's way slower than you think, also, welcome. I got it. It's not you, and we'll get you figured out, and we'll get you moving and making progress. Good. Next one, for example, we have a pronunciation class. There should be a pronunciation class that you can look at. These are very fun. You're learning a list of words, and you're learning one letter at a time and how to pronounce it correctly. And you will also improve your listening comprehension. You can get more information about all of these on my homepage, by the way. Yes, vocabulary practice. You will learn a list of words. You will practice it with your fellow students. Very cool. You can just open these and you get more information here. These are pretty much all the different types. From time to time, we have a grammar deep dive. I'm doing less of those because grammar is very important once you have achieved a certain level of fluency. And most traditional courses work a little bit backwards. They teach you a lot of grammar at a time when you can't even say anything. So you are like already worried about tenses and all sorts of things before you can even, ask for directions or ask for a glass of water and stuff like that. So that doesn't work. So what you need to do, and that's what we do, is you have to build a vocabulary first. And of course, you're learning how to put these things together by sentence, but the deep grammar questions are not interesting for you and shouldn't be interesting you if you are in the right class before you have achieved some fluency and you can understand a little bit, you can talk about basic things in your environment and so on. And as I found that most students don't have problems with grammar, but they have problems with everything else, pretty much. Like particularly with being able to speak. I'm not doing so many grammar lessons. However, I just want to point out that doesn't mean that I think grammar is not important. I'm a big grammar fan. I know grammar very well in English and in German, and I've studied it in 4 languages, not just English and German, also in Latin and French, but forget about French. It is a very important thing. It's like how the words are put together. But if you're looking at how you learned your own native language, you learned words, and then you learned how to put them together and sentences, and then you were able to speak and understand your language before you came to school at around 6. And then, starting slowly, between 6 and, 16, you learned more grammar. And also, that's a big secret, I don't know if you're one of them, but I've been teaching for many years. I've been teaching English to German-speaking, native-speaking people, for example, many of them also. Not everyone knows, not every native speaker knows their own grammar perfectly. So you don't have to be perfect in grammar to become fluent in the language. You should at some point, because to really understand, you need it, but not to go on holidays and speak to people and so on. So it's a matter of sequence. So anyway, that's why we're not doing grammar so much here, but there are grammar lessons too. That actually reminds me, I'm going to put here in resources, or maybe just as a link here, a lesson schedule for like the whole year or something like that. I'm not putting them in there with the Zoom link and everything, because that just is a little confusing. But if you're interested, you can look there. I'm going to do it. Remind me if I haven't. Speaking about lessons, I invite you to see as many of them, or come visit to as many of them as possible. First of all, it's more fun if you have more students and more colleagues. Also, don't worry if I see that we have like a lot of people, more than we can handle, and you're not going to get enough practice, we're just going to schedule more lessons. So then, for example, if I see, okay, we have 100 people on a conversation practice class, and there is no way, actually before that, maybe even if we have 20 people on a conversation practice class, I'm going to just do 2. And by the way, when you start in the Better German community, or if you're in there and you haven't yet, there is this post. It's in live classes, and there are questions like, when are the best times for you to follow? Maybe I have to do the calculations for other time zones, but this is my time zone. It would be great if you can vote, because I'm totally willing to have different times for the live classes. Also in here, you will find the live classes that are pertinent to specific courses, but they're also linked in the courses. Yes. So basically, that's the main thing in here. Maybe not all. You can also, there's other members. You see if they're online. You can just go there. That's actually me. So that's like my test account that I'm using here. And this is my real account, my official one. You can message me. You can also message other students. Over time, you will get to know them. And also, there's one last thing I want to show you. There is an affiliate program. So if you start, when you're watching this, there are 2 likely things that could happen. Either you're like, hey, this is so cool, I want to let other people know too. You just go to your account settings here, and then you go on affiliate program. And there's a description of the affiliate program. Basically, short story, there is 25% you get for every referral, forever, for life. So it's actually something you can definitely earn money with. At this point in time, I have simplified the prices. The price is $19.90 a month, or 20, that's euros a month. In the moment, a euro is pretty much the same as $1, and there similar to a pound. So basically, it's around $20, euros, or a pound. And when you sign up for the affiliate program and somebody joins with your link, you get 25% forever. As long as this person doesn't stop being a member, it gets paid out to you automatically via PayPal. So the only thing that I have to tell you, it takes 30 days. There's a waiting period of 30 days, it says here, because people can ask for a refund for 30 days. And then after 30 days, it's automatically paid out with PayPal. There is no other possibility to pay it out at this point in time, unfortunately. PayPal is pretty much available in many, many, many countries of the world. I realize that there are some where it's not. I apologize. At this point in time, it's only possible with PayPal. But you can contact me anyway if there is something specific you're thinking of and this is a problem. I can't promise it to you. If you want to learn German and you think this is cool, then yes, join our affiliate program, and you can even help and make sure that people will stay. Because the more you interact with them, the more they will like it and the more progress they will make, and the more likely they are to stay. So if you interest, let's say, 10 people over time, you already get $50 a month, approximately. If you interest 100 people, you will already get $500 a month forever. So, as long as they stay. So that's pretty much the last thing. There are one or the other more features coming. The main feature that is planned is matchups. That means if you agree to matchups, you basically get assigned one other member of the Better German community to meet and basically for practicing for this every 2 weeks, another one. This is a feature that I'm gonna activate soon. But in the meantime, you can already use voice rooms. One other thing that I didn't mention, all the live classes like this one, you can watch the replay. So first of all, what you can do is you can go on past event and then go on this class and go in there. You can go here and you can go on view recording, and then you will see the recording. This may not be available for all of them, but if it is, then it's in there. And it should be available for all the future ones now. And then you can also go on resources, and you see here replay of live classes. And you can go here, and there is a replay too. Because the automatic replay function in there only works for a month. So after that, or maybe even before that, you'll find these things here. Okay, so this is all I have here planned for this walkthrough. If you have any questions, contact me. And I hope to see you in one of the live classes or anywhere else in the Better German community soon. So stop struggling to learn German by yourself. Get the support you need, get the motivation, get the resources, the courses, and start learning effectively from today. Join us now.